Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitina Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Radhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone please move up closer. Radhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone move closer, please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Go Premanande! Pre-Kishore Harmonium! Let's hear it for the Kartal players, for the Hare Krishna singers, for the Hare Krishna dancers. Where were they? Go Premanande! Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Gaura Premanande, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Go Premanande, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in this world and I had no idea about the spiritual world, and also not much idea at all about even the material world. And there you have it. This is the typical situation. Even after extensive research, oceanographers say they've barely cataloged a small percentage of what they believe to be life forms within the ocean. And even within 1 square foot of dirt in the earth, there's a lifetime of study, and behind each research project there's a myriad of mysteries that confront the researcher, because the senses are limited and because we're tiny, we can barely see what's around us. So this is a different kind of research and different kind of science. It's one that begins with humility and pridelessness, nonviolence, approaching a higher authority. Instead of trying to wring the answers out of material nature, wring, W-R-I-N-G, and force Mother Nature to tell us her secrets, we instead take the humble path and submit ourselves before the Supreme Personality of Godhead and say, "Oh, my Lord, as powerful as fire, omnipotent one, now I offer all obeisances and fall on the ground at your feet. Please lead me on the right path to reach you. And since you know all I've done in the past, free me from the reactions to my past sins, so there will be no hindrance to my progress." And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught two things. And this whole Sankirtan movement is based on two very simple principles which anyone can remember and pass on to others. One is chant Hare Krishna. Two is teach it to others. One is, two is, one is, two is, two is, one is, two is, one is, one is, two is. So this is the substance of the Krishna consciousness movement. Chant Hare Krishna and teach it to others. Both must be there. And people are searching everywhere for a way to feel contentment, to mold their minds to a higher level of discipline, and to have a higher perspective in life. What are they looking for? Higher perspective, stronger discipline, and contentment. So 3 questions to ask. One is, have you found what you're looking for? Second is it eternal? And the third is, can you live and breathe in it at every minute? And if the answer to any of those is no, then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invites you to take up the process of chanting Hare Krishna. The yogic discipline molds the mind for higher levels of perception, discipline, and contentment. For higher levels of perspective, discipline, and contentment. Please join me. Higher levels of perspective, discipline, and contentment. Higher levels of perspective, discipline, and contentment. So there are many pleasures, so-called, in this world. Krishna defines yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate adyantavanta konteya nate shuramate buddhaha. These kinds of pleasures, he mentions, have a beginning and an end, and they're not for smart people. Because they don't mold the mind to higher levels of perception, discipline, and contentment. Rather, they allow the mind to go willy-nilly and to disintegrate into an unruly, like child or monkey that is very difficult to deal with and sometimes drives people mad. So, the very act of taking some time every day for introspection, even for those who don't know about the transcendental mantra, which is a secret, which we're trying to tell the whole world, is beneficial. Here's an article from SF Gate that came out last week. Meditation transforms roughest San Francisco schools. In these schools, they're having problems. One of the main problems is that the children are undisciplined, and there are collateral problems that come from that. For instance, they're shooting each other. Not very good. Better get that fixed. So, you'll see in this picture Barry Zito and David Lynch and Russell Brand sitting in the front of the class with the rest of the children from this school. And they're taking what they call a moment of silence. Quiet time. They're calling it quiet time. The results? An impressive array of studies shows that integrating meditation into a school's daily routine can markedly improve the lives of students. Suspension fell by 45%. Within 4 years, the suspension rate was among the lowest in the city. Daily attendance rates climbed to 98%, well above the city average. Grade point averages improved markedly. About 20% of graduates are admitted to Lowell High School before quiet time. Getting any students into this elite high school was a rarity. Remarkably, in the annual California Healthy Kids survey, these middle school youngsters recorded the highest happiness levels in San Francisco. And they're attributing this is a professor from UC Berkeley who did a study about this. He's a professor of public policy. And he's showing how just by some quiet time, that is a little introspection. Prabhupada talks about this. We read the section last week from the Srimad Bhagavatam in which Prabhupada says a common person who takes some time to look inwardly and realize that there's a super spirit sitting next to me. Otherwise, how am I getting direction? And when one realizes this, then it opens a whole new life for a person, realizing that I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to be anywhere else. I can be right here, right now, and feel complete happiness and satisfaction by being and experiencing. We're a unit of experience and attention. And when we turn that attention inwardly, Krishna says in the 5th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Paya sparshe swasaktatma vindit yatmaniyat sukham. That one can experience, one can taste, he says, unlimited happiness. So, the benefits just of being quiet for some time and looking inwardly are remarkable and measurable. And today we'll talk about mantra meditation. First of all, the meaning of mantra meditation. Man means mind. And tra comes from the word trayate, which means to deliver. I saw that Radhanath Swami in one of his speeches recently spoke of the mind as a monkey. And I like that. I mean, I've heard it before, but he made it even more explicit. And that is how the monkey jumps. Say there's 10 branches. He jumps from branch 1 to 4, and then from 4 to 7, and then back to 2 and 3. I'm doing it randomly because there's no meaning behind it. And when you watch monkeys in Vrindavan, I kind of watch them out of the side of my eye because you should never look them in the eye. Because as soon as you look at a monkey and they say, "You looking at me? You looking at me?" They immediately want to know if you're looking at them and what you want to make out of it. And so I just observe them when they're not looking at me. But they are whimsical. They jump from one branch to another. So he brought out in his analogy that if you bring out a banana, then they become focused very quickly. And they have pinpoint focus on the banana. And even if they haven't opened it yet, they know what's inside. And so he said, for the mind, we must have an object. We must have some fruit. Otherwise, the monkey mind will jump everywhere. You can put a monkey mind in front of a computer screen these days, and he'll stay there for hours, days. Some people, they'll spend 10 years, 20 years before they realize someone comes in and says, "Excuse me, you just wasted 20 years sitting here." Because the monkey mind's jumping, and won't stop. But no production. Smoke disturbs, but it never serves. The fire has to come. So one has to have an object, and the mantra is the object of the meditation. It delivers the mind from the monkey madness, jumping from one branch to another aimlessly, and it gives it a purpose, a focus. The mantra is tangible. Those who study the mantra, those who meditate on the mantra, they realize this for themselves. It must be realized. Sometimes compared to a radio frequency. I can't see radio frequencies in the air right now, but if someone with the knowledge of technology comes in the room and sets up a radio and turns it on to the right frequency, then we will see for ourselves, yes, there are radio waves coming through the room at this very moment. The frequencies of mantras are something to behold because each one has its own frequency. We'll talk about tonight the Maha Mantra, which is an omnibus mantra. The highest frequency and everything that we're looking for is in the mantra. That's the banana that the monkey's looking for. Also, the seed. Mantra is a seed. So seed may look insignificant. You hold it in your hand, it looks almost lifeless. How could so much be in one tiny compartment. What is inside a seed? A grove. Inside of the grove, millions and billions of fruits. What's inside each one of those? More seeds. There's unlimited capacity within a seed. Given the right environment and the right nurturing, the seed will grow into something wonderful. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very fond of this gardening analogy. He taught it to his disciples that the process of devotional service is like gardening, and we must become gardeners. So the mantra must be watered. And finally, for Silicon Valley-ites, the mantra is a zip file. And a zip file may look like one tiny icon, very similar to other icons, but somebody who knows can click on the zip file and then it can open to a whole world of information that changes one's life. So we should know that although the mantra seems to be localized and contained within a set number of syllables and words, it is unlimitedly potential. The Mahamantra is the highest vibration. It concentrates, it focuses, its focus is pure love for the source of all existence. Pure love for the source of all existence. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhava, matak sarvam pravartate, inimatva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. One who knows that I am the source of all existence, that gives his love to me, gives all his attention to me. Where else would you go? Monkey mind's going everywhere looking for something. When I find the very source of all existence and I direct my love towards him, then I become satisfied. And this is the meaning of chanting the mantra. Developing pure love for the source of all existence, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in the Yoga Sutra, there are 8 steps given for gradually purifying the mind and allowing it to focus on one point so that one can realize one's existence. The mind, says Patanjali in the Yoga Sutra, is the cause of our samsara, or rotating in a circular way in the material world with no escape. And the mind is a reflective surface. It takes on vrittis, or impressions, from the outside world that come through the senses. And as I'm identifying with that reflective surface as if it was a movie screen and I'm watching various scenes go by, I become captured by them and my emotions become married to those particular scenes. So this 8-fold process of Ashtanga shows one how to, first of all, clean up one's life, because you can't concentrate, you can't even sit down for a few seconds if you're a liar. If you're a cheater, you can't sit down, because as soon as you sit down, your mind will be agitated. You'll think, oh, somebody's after me, I lied, and now I have to make up for it. The mind will spin. So there's yam, niyam, there's various ways in which one has to become ethical. And then one must purify the senses through regulating them. And then there are processes for sitting and learning how to sit and breathe. And there's a process for concentrating the mind and letting it become still. And like a pond that becomes very still on the top, then you can see the bottom. However, through all these processes, which take a lot of arduous practice, Patanjali says there's a shortcut. Ishvara Pranidhan. He says it twice in the Yoga Sutra. And that is that if you surrender yourself to Ishvara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what Prabhupada calls in the 2nd canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, super spirit. We're spirit. We can realize it by sitting still for some time, introspecting, and see that I'm sitting in a body. My body is moving like a washing machine. It's going through cycles. I'm not responsible for those cycles. I'm simply observing and so forth. And someone is sustaining that cycle. Not only that, someone's supplying me intelligence. That super spirit is there. This is Ishvara, the Supreme Controller. Thank goodness I'm not the Ishvara. I met a man once who was a Christian, good Christian minister, and we talked for a long time about comparative philosophies. And then he said, I'll tell you, I've learned only two things for sure after so many years of studying in the ministry. I said, what is that? He said, there is a God, and I'm not him. And this is a good starting place to understand Ishvara. Ishvara Pranidhan, which means that there is an Ishvara, there is a Supreme Controller, and it's not me. From this position, Queen Kunti talks about feeling oneself to be akinchan, helpless. Janmaishvara Shuta Shribir Edamanamada Puman Naivar Yadidaptum Vai Twamakinchana Gocharam. That if I'm intoxicated, thinking that I'm something, that I'm rich, that I'm beautiful, that I'm very smart, and so forth, then I can't concentrate on Ishvara with sincere feeling. But if I give up these false conceptions, which are, as Prabhupada says in the second canto of the Bhagavatam, borrowed plumes, whatever ability I have now has been gifted to me, loaned to me, and simply surrender myself as a helpless entity, as akinchan means I don't have anything. I'm simply helpless. This is Ishvara Pranidhan. And this is the shortcut, says Patanjali Rishi, to meditation. If you can come to this point in your meditation practice of surrendering to Ishvara, realizing that there is a God, I'm not him, and then calling out with your mantra, then putting your head down in meditation towards the Supreme Ishvara, then very quickly you'll come to the perfection of meditation. Hare Krishna Rama.
Hare Krishna Rama.
So these three words make up the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare. So Hare means the energy of the Lord, the internal potency, Srimati Radharani. It also means, according to our acharyas, one who removes obstacles to one's true path of happiness. Hearing these definitions will inspire us as we're chanting the mantra. In fact, Krishna says to Uddhava in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that the way to purify a mantra is to study it and see what's in it. And then the mind takes more interest in it because there's something more to this. Krishna means all attractive. So Krishna has magnetic, attractive force. And this is something we can see in this world, how the attraction of a particular body or entity can bring living entities closer. I give you the example of the salmon in the Muir Woods. There's the coho salmon. And I became acquainted with the coho salmon when one day I was with the Hungarian devotees. I took them up to Muir Woods. They wanted to see it. Prabhupada used to walk there. And we saw a ranger with wading boots in the small stream. And he was picking out pieces of what he called micro trash, which included chewing gum, coins, and little pieces of paper that inevitably end up in the water supply because people buy things and they open them and they don't get recycled properly. And so we asked him, why are you taking so much trouble? And he said, these disturb the fish. I said, how do they disturb the fish? And they told us the story of the coho salmon that lives in the freshwater stream that comes down the hill into Muir Woods, and then it empties into the ocean. So the coho are born in the freshwater, and after 2 years, they start to change their bodily features, and then they swim down the freshwater stream into the ocean, and they travel sometimes for thousands of miles in the salt water. Their body transforms as they're growing up, so they can live in both fresh and salt water. And after 2 years, up to 8 years of swimming for thousands of miles and living in the saltwater ocean, remarkably, they come back to the exact same stream that they were born in. They find that stream and then they swim upstream. And I've seen this. When I was a child, my parents took me up to Canada and we went to watch the fish ladders. There are these streams where they put gradations of ladders on the side so the salmon can make their way back upstream, because they find their exact stream, the exact stream they were born in, and then the rapids are coming down quite strongly, so they have to jump, and they'll fly out of the air onto one step of the ladder, and then to the next, and the next, and the next, and they go all the way back to the original pond they were born in. And then they spawn, and then they die. So scientists have been trying to figure out how they do that. How you do that. And I was actually appalled and swore off science for the rest of my life, not that I was ever interested, when I found out that one of the ways they figured out how the salmon, at least they speculate, that the salmon find their way back there by smell, is they plug the noses of some of the salmon when they tagged them and let them go. And the ones that with noses that were plugged couldn't find the turnoff to the stream. I don't think I would like to plug the nose of a salmon. I don't know. Anyway, so by smell, the salmon find their way back. Very acute sense of smell, the original pond that they were born in. And others say by magnetic attraction. Magnetic attraction, because actually they call it magnetic detection. Magnetic detection. There's a way in there's an irresistible magnetic force that they experience through the waves of the earth, at least this theory, and they can feel that. Of course, there's Ishvara within the heart of the salmon who's also directing. I mean, I see dogs all the time when I'm on Parikrama in Vrindavan, and they're running in certain direction. I think, how do they know it? Where are they? It's a little dog brain. And every day at Prem Kishore's house in Vrindavan, the same dog shows up at 2 o'clock every day, because that's what time the Gwalers have their rotis, and he gets one roti. And I was checking him to see if he had a wristwatch, because how does he know? He's out playing in the field, and at 2 o'clock he comes. How do you know? In any case, Ishvara is there, and there's a magnetism the salmon feel to their original home. And there's a way in which we're feeling that attraction, but it's being diverted to many other people and events in this world. In fact, Ernest Becker, in his book, Denial of Death, he was a psychologist, and he writes how all the activities that are going on in this world are simply diversions and distractions for the human being so they don't have to think about death. All the games people play and get all absorbed in, all the family events and everything like that, it's just an excuse so they don't have to think about death, because it's the ultimate event. And there's a way in which we invest our emotions, as Hiranyakashipu told his family members after Hiranyaka died, to appease them, that we come together as family members just the way people who are travelers come together in a restaurant. We sit down at the same table. We enjoy a sarsaparilla, that's a root beer, and after paying the waiter, we get up and we go our separate ways. I see people all the time on the airplane when you're traveling. People sit together, and after a couple hours, unless they're really talkative, they'll start right away. But usually near the end of the flight, they start talking. So where are you from? What kind of work do you do? What firm are you in? They start talking. Yeah, nice to know you. And then they get up, they get off the plane, they go their separate directions. They never see each other again. So he said that we're like that. All our family members and all our associates and acquaintances are just like that in this world. And what we're lacking is direction. That magnetic field that will pull us back to our original home, where we're not misdirected. We're not investing our emotional energy into relationships that will be dispersed in a few years. And that is the eternal home of every living entity. And the mantra is what calls us there. So as the salmon finds its way back to its original pond, we can also find our way back to the original place where we're all hankering to be, with the all-attractive person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the chanting of the mantra will attract us in unimaginable ways and direct us through magnetic detection. We'll find our way back home, back to Godhead, just by the sound of the mantra. Krishna is all attractive. And Rama means the source of life, power, and pleasure. So Hare Krishna Rama. Now, perception. We talked about perception, discipline, and contentment. Please try it again. Perception, discipline, contentment. Perception, discipline, contentment. Perception, discipline, contentment. So perception comes from the word perceive, comes from a Latin word percipere, which means to seize. And per means entirely, and capere means to take. So as we're looking around the world, we take various things and we leave other things behind. And some things we seize by saying, that's mine. I exist, and there are material things all around me, and some of them, through my perception, I say, are mine. And now I have to deal with them. I have to pay taxes on them. Shukadeva Goswami didn't want anything to do with it. He came out of the womb and he took off running. He said, nothing, nowhere, I'm not attaching myself. The material world's a very sticky place. In fact, Kapila Dev tells his mother Devahuti that although the fortunate living entity with the womb of his mother understands that I'm in a precarious position, in a horrible situation, and that as soon as I come out, I'll be recaptured by Maya and therefore even praised. Let me just stay in the womb and be aware of the fact that I'm eternal servant of God. But as soon as he comes out, the lights come on, everyone's talking, smiling, he becomes externalized. His senses become externalized. And then somebody slaps a name tag on him and says, your new name is Schnicky. Okay, Schnicky. Play some games, do some things for us, and you're going to college, by the way. And then the bewilderment begins, and perception must rise to the higher level. And through the mantra, through the chanting of the mantra, our perception becomes molded to a higher vibration. Rather than seeing the world as mine or a place for enjoyment, I see the world as a place for service. Limited conception is, this world's for my enjoyment. That's a problem, because it's frustrating. And Prahlad Maharaj says, the very second I think of sense enjoyment, I become frustrated. I don't even have to pursue it. I just have to think about it, and I become frustrated. And the opposite is true. The moment I think about service, how to serve, I feel satisfied. And if I feel, let me serve the divine source of all existence, then I become fully satisfied. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktanam yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim richyati. That one who understands three things. One is that Krishna is the enjoyer of everything. So you can feed him as much as you like. Some people, you feed him, they can say, okay, that's enough. But Krishna keeps saying more, more, more. Like Lord Chaitanya at one time, he sat down on the altar and he told all his followers, he said, now bring me something to eat. And they all bring them food, big jugs of milk, and he drank it all. Big mounds of rice, he ate it all. Bananas, more bananas there were in Bengal, and he ate all the bananas. And he said, bring me more, bring me more. So this is Krishna, he can enjoy. We need someone who can take. People are very miserly takers in this world. They can only take a little bit, and usually, no, I don't want anything. But Krishna, he can take everything. And so that's a perfect match for us, because as servants, we want to give. We want to find the perfect taker. So Bhoktaram Jagatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, and this solves all my problems. He owns everything. So now I don't have to worry about anything, because he's the controller and he's the owner. And the third is that he's the friend of all living entities, the best friend within the heart. And Suridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatvamam Shantim Richati. One who knows this becomes completely peaceful. Now, we have to raise our perception by the mantra. And when we do, we see what's valuable and what's not valuable. Anyadeva hur sambhavad, anyarahura sambhavad. Iti shushumadhiranam inas tadvit chakshade. One result is obtained by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes. And another result is obtained by worshipping money and all the things in this world, that which is not supreme. And so a person who's chanting the mantra begins to distinguish what is valuable and what is not valuable, and they don't waste their time. So, a quick quiz. A fire is engulfing your house. And inside the house, at peril, is car, money, toaster, pet. Which one do you save first? Can I get consensus on that? Everyone who says pet, raise your hand. Everyone who says toaster, raise your hand. Because we have a toaster we're trying to get rid of here. Why? That's intuitive. Why? Car, money, toaster, pet. Why you say pet? Because the living force is there. Now if we offer someone a palace and we say you can have whatever you want, and we fill it up with all the goods in the world. And what goods are available nowadays? Okay, iPhone, you can have 5 iPhones, different colors. What else do you get? Cars, okay, you can have a bunch of cars. Big screen TV, okay. Shoes, lots of shoes, 1 million pairs of shoes. What else? Huh? Food, clothes, everything. You can have everything but any other living entity. That's the only thing you're restricted. No plants, no kids, no pets. Okay? But you can have whatever you want. All right. We're going to have to test you on that. That was good, though. So, after some time, a person in this environment one day sees one little green parrot flies into his house. And that parrot will become the object of his love. And all the other things will become insignificant. He'll become frustrated and detached from the other things because they won't give any pleasure. But the little parrot who can look out from those tiny little eyes, and there's a living entity, which Krishna says, Aschayavat pashtiti kashyarenam aschayavat vadati tataiva. He's described as amazing, he's seen as amazing. There's something, a spark there that's fascinating beyond anything else in this world. And the most valuable thing in this world is that spark. That's the perception that comes from the mantra. And again, we're talking about molding our perception, discipline, and contentment to a higher level. And that comes through the chanting of the mantra. Discipline. Discipline. Please. Discipline. It comes from a word which means learner. The origin of the word is from Latin and it means learner. That in and of itself is good information. That through the process of discipline, of course, discipline, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, which is oriented at pleasing the Supreme, is full of all knowledge, bliss, life, etc. Everything comes, and Krishna says, I'm situated in acts of sacrifice. So when one performs disciplined acts for the sake of pleasing the Supreme, then one gets everything. Through discipline, one can overcome restlessness and distraction. These are two of the enemies of satisfaction. And these must be overcome in order to perform mantra meditation without offense. In fact, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that the root cause of all the offenses in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is inattention. And there are many causes for the inattention, but one is distraction. Means there is an attractive force to the holy name, but then there's distraction, which means I'm allowing my mind to go away from that which is valuable to those things which are not valuable. To asat trishna, I have a thirst for things which are temporary, and the mind gets accustomed to chasing after those things. So, through discipline and practice, Krishna says, abhyasa yoga yuktena, one must over and over again bring the mind back to the mantra and concentrate on the fruit of the mantra, and then gradually one can overcome this distraction. And how to do practice? Abhyas means you start with one filament, and you add another filament the next day, and you keep adding a filament, and then you get a thread. And then you keep adding a filament, and then you get a string. And then you add a filament, then you get a rope. And you'll see that after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, if one has been faithful to the practice, that one will have something substantial to hold on to. So this is the prescription for developing and molding the mind to a higher level of discipline, is every day take time to focus the mind on the mantra. Practice. Joshua Hevitz, the famous violinist, says that if I don't practice one day, I notice it. If I don't practice 2 days, my teacher notices. If I don't practice 3 days, everybody notices it. Third is contentment. We have perception, discipline, contentment. Please, everyone with me. Perception, discipline, contentment. So the mantra molds the mind to a higher level of contentment, to actual satisfaction. And I'll read what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita is possible even at the preliminary stage of realization that one is non-material, that I am not a product of the material world. I'm not obligated to all these attachments which are harassing me. He says, in the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities by practice of yoga. This perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness, realized through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. Being situated in such a position, one is never shaken, even in the midst of greatest difficulty. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. And now we're going to chant the Mahamantra, because I've given some reasons why one should chant the mantra. Because it molds the mind to higher levels of perception, discipline. You got to join with me. You need the hand gestures. Perception, discipline, contentment. So that's some of the takeaway. And if someone grabs you when you walk out of this class by the arm, a shirt, and they say, "What was that guy talking about in there?" You'll say, "He was teaching a time-tested method to mold the mind to higher levels of perception, discipline, and contentment." So now we'll practice the mantra, which is 16 words, 32 syllables. It's a balanced mantra. It's a mantra prescribed in the Vedas, which are co-eternal with the Lord, and which give the description of the absolute truth. the holy name itself is the absolute truth. There's no difference between the super spirit, Krishna, and the name. Nama Chintamani Krishnas Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Bina Dvam Nama Namino. That's the evidence from the Shastra, which says that the name is a Chintamani stone. In other words, it's transformative. Anything it touches, it will turn into spirit. And it's alive. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, full life is there within the holy name. And it's completely perfect. Eternally and completely perfect. And Binat Dvam Nama Namino. There's absolutely no difference at all between the name and Krishna himself. Except, Rupa Goswami says, that if you're really discriminating, you can say there is a difference. And that is that the name, although it is completely, absolutely non-different from Krishna, at the same time, it's different in that the name is more merciful than Krishna himself. Because even if one offends Krishna, the name will follow one, and just by saying the name, it will fill one with transcendental bliss and bring one back into the process of devotional service and take one by the hand personally back home, back to Godhead. So we're going to chant in unison a form of meditation called mantra meditation, in which we'll utter this authorized, prescribed mantra, which is non-different from God himself. We'll use the tongue and the voice box, and we'll utter it just loud enough so that we can hear ourselves. That is, each individual can hear the mantra for him or herself. And the practice is you have to bring your attention back to the sound of the mantra. You can fix your mind on the syllables, you can fix your mind on the name, but one way or another, bring your mind back to the mantra itself, and it will run away. In fact, in the Yoga Sutra, a very high level of concentration and meditation is measured when one is able to focus the mind for around 8 seconds. That's a very high level. So don't expect that within one mantra your mind won't run away. It will. But our only job is to bring it back to the mantra gently. You don't have to smash it. You don't have to even scold it. You just have to notice that it went away and bring it back. That's attention. And then keep coming back to the mantra. And don't even worry about time. Don't worry about space. Consider that you're in the best place in the whole universe right now, which is a fact. And you don't have anywhere else to go. Just drop all other considerations. When the ideas come into your mind that I should be somewhere else, and what are people thinking about me chanting, how does it sound, that's another distraction. Just come back to the mantra and be in the moment with the mantra. Be there for the mantra itself. This is love, actually, to give your full attention to Krishna through the mantra. And all keep time, so you don't have to. And all you have to do is completely relax and don't worry about it. And if I keep the chanting going till midnight, just keep going. And don't say anything. Okay? Yes? Yes. All right. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And now 10 seconds of silence, and just feel how the vibration has permeated every cell in your body. And now we'll take some reflections, which means any one thing, a point that you heard so far in the discussion tonight, actually it's been a monologue, that stuck in your mind, that you're taking home with you, or one realization you got while you're chanting. And we'll take 11 reflections. Sundarananda.
I mean, perception, discipline, and contentment. That is what basically the higher levels, higher stages of the mind, especially dealing with these 3 points that the mantra meditation gives us, is what has stuck.
You mean to say that by mantra meditation,
One
our
will-
mind is molded to a higher level
Higher
of
level.
perception, discipline, and contentment?
Contentment. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I really like the point about the banana and the monkey. And I really feel that mind is always jumping, very hard to control. And when it has a focus of the Maha Mantra, there is 100% chance of it, in the
Boy, is
material
it
world,
ever.
we never say anything 100%, but in Krishna consciousness we can. 100% chance of total control because Krishna says it. And it's a very nice analogy, Prabhu. Very nice. Thank you.
I'm leaving Radhakund one day. I saw a woman carrying 2 huge bundles of bananas, and these 2 big bull monkeys were walking towards her. So she took one banana, she held it out to them and said, Here, take this. And they said, nuh-uh, we want the whole thing. So they jumped like that. And I was just thinking how, when the mind becomes very much attracted to the mantra, you become like that. Like, they have one pointed attention. Just give me those bananas. Okay, a few more? Yes? Please give her the microphone.
The mantra is like radio waves, and there's different frequencies to mantras. And we have the very special Hare Krishna mantra
Nice. Tuned
given
into the
to
highest
us by
frequency.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to take us home.
Thank you very much. Nice. Rasika Shiromani? She's right back there.
This point you said stuck in my mind, like through discipline we can overcome distraction and restlessness, because those are the main hindrances for not being able to focus.
Yes. Thank you. And the mantra will help us, because Krishna says in the, actually Sudha Goswami says, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janya Yashtuvairagyam Jnanam Chayara Haitukam. By this direct connection with Krishna, we concomitantly get knowledge and detachment from the world. And when we become detached, it means we have better perspective. Our perspective, our discipline, and our contentment mold to a much higher level. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So when we started chanting, that time my mind was too much active. And then I could see in the middle, going down to the other negative, I was feeling sleepy. And then when I tried to be in the moment, then I saw that things were slowly getting stabilized. So I could see immediately when I opened the eyes, the pictures were very sharp, meaning that there was a level in the rise of, there was a rise in the level of perception. And then about there was a discipline definitely, because initially my mind was too active, but then towards the end, when I tried to be in the moment and trying to focus on the mantra, then it was getting stabilized, meaning more stable and more disciplined. And then there was also contentment. Initially there was hyperactivity in the brain, but later on, when things get stabilized, then we feel more satisfied.
So if I understand you correctly, just by chanting the mantra, your mind was molded to a higher level of perception, discipline, and contentment. Thank you very much. Who else? Avantika.
Hare Krishna. So I liked the part when you said that every event is an excuse of not to think of death.
Yes, that was a psychologist that said that in the book called Denial of Death. Thank you. Yes.
I liked your point when you said the mantra is a seed, and then the seed looks useless, but when the seed grows, it grows into trees, then grows, then orchards, and then more fruits with more seeds.
Thank you. Very nice reflections. Mukharvind and Jagarini? Microphone coming back. She's got it. Go ahead.
By contemplating material sense gratification, we feel frustration. And by contemplating service, we feel happiness.
Yeah, right. And the whole
That's
world...
my experience as well.
It's a practical experience, right? Nice. Thank you very much.
Gurumad, you quoted that verse, Nam Chintamani Krishna, in which you told like how name and the person Krishna is same. But then you quoted Rup Goswami Pad, like how he says that name is more merciful than Krishna, and it's truly beneficial as we go along and chant. In our devotional life, we see that sometimes we do offense and we think that there is no way I can come up. But then also there is a hope that by just chanting we can come up, and because name is much more merciful than Krishna, so that gives a lot of hope.
Thank you. Nice reflection. Shamalangi? And then Trishab?
Both the days I have written this point in my notes that you mentioned in the beginning, you have to be ethical, otherwise you cannot sit straight. So that kind of catches my attention.
Right. Yes, you have to clean up your act. If you're truthful, then you can sit for long periods of time. Trishab.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, I like the point that you said that in the Yoga Sutras, which has the eightfold process, it is said that Krishna is surrender to Ishwar is the final goal, and I think it's valuable because everyone around the world sees yoga as a very powerful way of body, and if we say that this is yoga, and the teacher of yoga said that this is the highest point of yoga, then that is
it's a nice point. And you mentioned there are many processes for self-realization, but in the Bhagavatam, Narada Muni says, Naishkarmyam apyachuta bhava varjitam nashobate jnanam alam niranjanam. That if that process of self-realization is only about non-fruitive work and realizing oneself to be non-material, if it doesn't include achuta bhava, which means this emotion, this feeling for the personality of Godhead, then it's nashobate. It's not beautiful. It doesn't look good at all. It's not very attractive at the least. So there are many different kinds of meditation. Sometimes when we give a meditation class, people will say, well, what about just concentrate on the breath or a candle flame or something like that? That's all well and good, but there's achuta bhava within the mantra. And that comes out, like what Mukharvind Prabhu was bringing out, that there's a reciprocation in the mantra because there's actual mercy descending from the name of God, which is undeniable for the chanter. Yes?
Prabhu, I like the point that you made. Every day take time to focus the mind on the mantra. So when I was chanting today, I was specifically trying to hear it and just focus on each syllable. And that was much easier for me to not get distracted. So I want to do it as a regular practice.
I like that, Shakalila. It's coming back to the basics. The basics are chant Hare Krishna, teach it to others. When we chant Hare Krishna, we just have to pay attention. That's the most important part. Thank you very much.
Prabhu, I was thinking about the point that you just made about when you show one banana, the monkeys would want many more. So I was thinking that you had sent in Shonadi Jal once that's around chant 16 rounds at one point. And every time that I try to do, I hope I do it every day, but when you do it 16 rounds at one stretch, you don't want to stop because you want to keep going. So I was just thinking about the analogy as what you said, that the monkeys don't want to get one, but get more. Similarly, the mind wants more chanting. When you do it over and over again, in 16th round, you don't want to stop there, you want to do more.
All sell in bunches like bananas, right? We have, just before Malini, we have one on the text that just came in.
So Pratibha Mataji from Sacramento, today she's in Michigan, and she says that she really liked the parallels that you drew between the Koho salmon, how the salmon goes back to where it was born, and how the mantra takes us back to Godhead.
The salmon, oh yeah. Thank you, Pratibha. And give our best to everyone in Michigan. Yes.
Prabhuji, I also like the analogy of the Koho salmon and how based on the smell they go back. And it was very practical for me when I was chanting also. I was thinking that the sound actually will bring us back, and the magnetic field that you explained, that is the one which actually attracts us to Krishna. So I felt that is a good point that I can take home and practice as a...
Nice. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I like the point about how the Mahamantra is like a seed and it opens up an entire new world.
Yes.
And that's very inspiring, because sometimes we may get a little complacent or take the mantra for granted. But when we know that it's actually an opening to the entire new world, it's inspiring and helps us to focus more on chanting.
Thank you for bringing that up. The garden analogy is important because gardeners have to be patient too. And they have to apply, you don't just get the fruit and flower immediately, but you have to be practical. What time to plant and how to water and so forth. Chinmayi?
I like the point that this Prabhu was also saying that how Rupa Goswami told how the Krishna and his name are non-different. And it made me think that when you said that even if you make an offense to Sri Krishna, if you say his name, he'll take your hand and take you back. And that gave me a sense of trust. Like you can trust, Rupa Goswami says, you can trust the holy name.
Nice. Thank you very much. We'll take 3 more.
I like the chanting process because it was slow. So I think the attention was concentrated because the speed was slow. And if I compute, it's probably 30 minutes that you spend on one round. So I'm wondering, the challenge is to take it to the real practice, because if you multiply 16 by 30, so you'll end up for the whole day, right?
Call your boss. Tell him you're not coming in. Look, I found a better banana than what you got down there. That's what Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, they stayed home, they called in sick, and then when the doctor came to the house, they found there was all these Brahmins in there reading Bhagavatam. They said, "You're not sick." Well, one thing is that when we're chanting slowly, anything that you start slowly and you practice slowly, then later on you can speed up and you can be just as proficient. And I recommend that you practice this, enunciating properly, and also record yourself chanting. Everyone should try this. Record yourself on your smartphone. If you don't have one, go get one. And record yourself chanting the mantra and then play it back and listen to how you're chanting, because you may be surprised. And this is one way that you can actually speed up the mantra so that you're not taking 3 hours to chant 16 rounds. You can chant 16 rounds in an hour and 40 minutes and so forth, if you're careful. It's like with Madanga, at first certain beats, the hand and brain coordination, you can barely go. But the teacher always says, go slow, go slow, go slow, and do it correctly. And then after a while, the hands just start doing it properly. And it's the same thing with chanting, which is a mind and muscle connection. We have another text that came in? Yes, one more text.
This is from Jonathan Prabhu from Hawaii.
Jai, Jonathan from Hawaii.
So, as usual, he says that on one recording of Prabhupada, he says that the sahajiya can imitate practically all of the sadhana activities except able to sit down and chant the japa.
Jonathan comes up with the best realizations. Thank you.
May I share one of my realizations?
Pardon me?
May I share one of my?
Yes.
Yeah. So I really liked the continuation, your very first Japa workshop last Sunday, and one of the things that you said about recording. And the Mukharvinda always records. I see him recording every now and then he records, and I never recorded mine. I think that the fear was there, that knowing that I am not chanting properly. But then last Monday I recorded, and I could not believe it. Every second mantra was wrong. It was that bad. And then I, went through everything that you taught us in the lectures. And I said, I'll slow down, doesn't matter. I don't have to complete all my 16 in the morning. If I have to come back from work and do it, I'll do it like that. And one of the things that you said was concentrate on the super soul in your heart. And so in the beginning I had forgotten about that, but the moment I went and concentrated in the heart, the feeling was very good. And having done that for such a short time, the good feeling continued throughout the day, that I would want to chant, and giving a smallest free time, I would sit down and chant, although I had done my 16 but wanting to do so. I'm just thinking, and today you mentioned that it's like the seed, and how you had also told the story about how Narayan is so powerful that within a banyan seed there are actually thousands of banyan seed. And I was just thinking, we always see seed mantra, and so how much more powerful it is that just a small connection for a very small fraction of a second, connecting to the support souls. So what about for 8 seconds? If you do that, how good it'll feel, So
very nice. Yeah,
and I would strongly, one small request is that if you can do these workshops very often, it's like the violinist, like if you don't practice, properly, if you can do that. Thank you.
We can do. Yeah, very good. Shalabahu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
When we are chanting, I practice these things for beginning of my association with the devotees. Some of the devotees teach me that when we are chanting, focus the tongue and the mouth. You are creating that mantra, and then at the same time listening that mantra. So I practice that. The way it is you creating that mantra, and in that same mantra you are creating the sound you are taking as a nectar in your ear. So the Sravana and Kirtana is in there same time.
Yes. Thank you very much. Nirkula?
I just want to make 3 quick points. In the letter that you read, that Srila Prabhupada had written, when you read that earlier today, Prabhupada mentioned patience and determination. And that we will succeed in this process, and you mentioned patience with chanting the mantra. And then they say that anything that you practice for 3 weeks becomes a habit. So if we can just, the mind sometimes has, you need an end point. So at least mine does. If I think I can do this for 3 weeks, really concentrating the best rounds like that. And then after that, it should become, my practice. And last week you mentioned how even just a little bit of rocking you found was a distraction. And I noticed that in myself today, and without even realizing it, I noticed I was rocking back and forth a little bit, and I opened my eyes and I saw Shraddha sitting very straight and still, and I thought, okay, and it does make a difference in my concentration, not even a little bit of rocking. So,
thank you very much, Jagarini, for the last word.
I wanted to mention something that I found really helpful, from when I began to chant. And it was mentioned by Srila Prabhupada on the Radha Krishna Temple album when he talks about the chanting of Hare Krishna. And he says we should chant like we're a mother crying for the baby crying for its mother. And I actually brought that up at one Japa workshop, and it was and it wasn't met very well because it was a beginner workshop, and I was told that was a more advanced subject matter, and I shouldn't talk about that yet. But I kind of disagreed at the time, although I didn't voice it because I wanted the workshop to go on, because that was something that I got a lot out of from very early on, and also Prabhupada spoke of that on that album, which was one of
We'll allow it.
One of the first things. And I guess it really made a difference in the quality of my japa when I had a kind of a yearning mood, or tried to get that. It made it easier, and it made it kind of, I don't know, it was just more intense.
Yes, very good. Thank you very much. So, if one can get one mustard seed of inspiration from chanting every day, don't go away empty-handed. Go set up your japa time with the full intention of getting some inspiration by connecting with the holy name. And we don't know which way it will come because it's descending mercy. But we have to go with full receptivity. Means we have to have our heart completely open, our mind completely focused, and lean in. There's a book called Lean In. I haven't read it. I looked at it on the bookshelf, but I like the title. And it's good for the practice of japa, which means lean into it with your mind, with your heart. Put everything that you can, and means set aside time so that you can have undivided attention while you're chanting japa. And this is the sustaining power and all that's necessary. There are two things that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught to expand the movement. One is? One is? I'm not convinced. Did he really teach that? One is? Two is? One is? Two is? And by practicing the mantra every day, your mind will be molded to higher levels of perception, discipline, and contentment. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Go Premanande Haribo. So now we're going to have a singing meditation, dynamic meditation with dancing. So everyone feel free to dance tonight. There's plenty of room in here. You can dance gracefully. And we'll put away all the asanas and the chairs. We'll move everything out of the way so there's plenty of room to dance. And all the women can come over on the left side, and the men can come on the right side, and then we'll have the Artik ceremony. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine. Hare. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pashtatyarishatarine. Can you feel the front? A little closer to the deity. Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Rarotiko Shobha. Janave Tatavane Jagamana Loba. Jagajana Mana Lobha. Jagajana Mana Lobha. Gaurangera Rotiko Shobha. Jagajana Mana Lobha. Gaurangera Rotiko Shobha. Jagajana Mana Lobha. Jagajana Mana Lobha. Jagajana Mana Lobha. Haribol, Haribol, tune it. Haribol, Nitai Gaur Haribol. Nitai Gaur Haribol. Haribol, Haribol, Nitai Gaur Haribol. Dake Nitai Chan Bame Gadadhara. Nikate Advaita Srini Vaschatradara. Bose Ache Gaurachan Ratna Singhasane. Arati Korena Brahma Adi Deva Gane. Nara Hari Hari Kori Shamaradulaya. Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Goshari Gaya Shankar Baje Kanta Baje Baje Karatala Madhura Mridanga Baje Paramarasala Hey Madhur 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 Baje Madhur 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 Baje Shanka Baje Kanta Baje Madhur 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 Baje Shanka Baje Kanta Baje Madhur 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 Baje Madhur 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 Bhaje Oh Madhur 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 Bhaje Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Baho Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujvala Baho Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujvala Baho Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujvala Jala Deshe Vanamala Kore Jalamala Gala Deshe Vanamala Kore Jalamala Shiva Shukanarada Preme Gada Gada Shiva Shukanarada Preme Gada Gada Where's Adwait? Adwait. Bhakati Vinoda Deke Gaurara Sampada Bhakati Vinoda Deke Gaurara Sampada Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Haribo Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Oh, Haribo! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Oh, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Hey, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Gaur Premanande Shri Nam Sankirtan ki, Shri Nam Mantra ki, Shri Nam Prabhu ki, Go Premanande. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stothara Shishiman Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stothara Shishiman Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. Prem Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasri Gaur Bhaktavrindi ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki. Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham ki. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi ki. Jamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki. Samabeta Bhaktavrindi ki. All glories to some devotees. All glories to some devotees. All glories to some devotees. Go Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hold on. Tonight, we're going to sing prayers to Lord Nrsingadev with a special intention to send blessings to Sonal Mataji's mother, who's seriously ill, and her name is Saroja. And she's just leaving to go see her mother. We want to ask Lord Nrsingadev's special blessings to please protect her dear mother and please protect Sonal on her journey on the way there. Thank you, Lord Nrsingadev, for considering our requests. Hare Krishna. Everyone can move up a little closer, please.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Ladadaine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Shilatangkanakalaye. Gito Narsimha Bharato Narsimha. Yato yato yami tato Narsimha. Bahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Narsimha Madim Sharanam Prapade. Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanumringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare. Padita Narari Rupa Padita Narari Kara Kamalavare Naka Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanumringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare. Tava Kara Kamalavare Rakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanurengam Keshavarita Narariruva Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare. Jaya Narsimhadev, Jaya Narsimhadev, Jaya Narsimhadev, Jaya Narsimhadev, Jaya Narsimhadev. Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nrsimhadev ki.
श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन जी की, श्रीमान महाप्रभु की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की. Hare Krishna. We welcome everyone to the Sunday Feast program at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. In his commentary to several verses in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, comments that there are two types of diseases that all living entities suffer in this material world. One is the material disease associated with the body and the mind. It's also known as adhyatmika kind of suffering inflicted by the modes of material nature. And the second is the spiritual disease of misidentifying oneself with the material body as being the self. In this world, it's not difficult to realize and notice that there are many hospitals, nursing homes, and many institutions which are attempting to solve the first type of disease, the material disease associated with the body and the mind. But there's hardly any institution or hospital to address the second disease, which is the spiritual disease of misidentifying with the body as being the self. And he writes further that the centers of the Krishna consciousness movement are the only established hospitals which actually identify this disease, not only identify, but also give a practical and tangible solution to eradicate this disease. So here our center at Mountain View, at Latham Street in Mountain View, is one of the established hospitals which is informing everyone of this disease, the second type of disease that we suffer from, and how one can, by taking to this process of Krishna consciousness, we can raise ourselves to the spiritual platform and for once and all eradicate this disease. So we're very happy to see all of you here tonight, and we request you to come here, be a part, and participate in all our activities with full enthusiasm, and you'll see for yourself how your life is transformed into complete auspiciousness. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Do we have newcomers to the temple today? Those who are coming to the temple for the first time? We have a couple back there at the door. You don't have to stand there. You can have a seat comfortably. But we are happy to see you here tonight. Hare Krishna. Hope you like the program, and we hope that you'll come again and be a part of our association here. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Earlier today we had a very wonderful discourse, interactive mantra meditation workshop led by His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu, and we heard so many nectarian points about the importance of chanting the holy name with our full attention and focus. So we thank him very much for conducting these workshops. Hare Krishna. We also thank him for leading a very nice kirtan tonight, and we thank Srivatsa for leading tonight's Narsimdev prayers. Thank you very much. We have several sponsors for the feast tonight, and I'll call them first the adults who are celebrating their wedding anniversary, and then I'll call a bunch of kids who are celebrating their birthdays. So can we have Bilas Prabhu and Rinku Mataji come up, who are one of the co-sponsors for tonight's feast. Hare Krishna. Is Mataji there? Okay, she can come too. So it's their wedding anniversary, and on their request there's also a very special menu has been selected for tonight, and you can expect some delicious feast soon after the announcements. So we're very happy for both of you, and we wish you the very best and full Krishna consciousness in your lives, in your families. So please be in our association, and we're very happy to serve you. So please accept this small return gift from us. Hare Krishna. Sweets. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, next we have several kids who are celebrating their birthday this month, starting with Sindhu. Her sister Aditi also celebrated her birthday earlier this month, so I call both of them here. And then Arushi. Arushi is also celebrating her birthday today, and her mother is very happy to sponsor the feast. Come on. Okay, Avantika, can you help me? Where is Avantika? Okay, here. Hand each one of them this wonderful gift of Mangalarti sweets offered to the Lord. Who's the... Oh, here, Arushi. Please give them a garland each from the... And the two sisters can share this frame, right? Okay. Where is Aditi? Okay. So for all our birthday girls tonight, let's chant loudly the Hare Krishna Mahamantra to wish them the very best. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Sindhu, do you want to say something?
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. So celebrating birthdays and wedding anniversaries here in the Association of Devotees is a very nice. Okay, Aditi will say Hare Krishna.
Say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Loudly. Can you say loudly? Hare Krishna.
Today? Where is he? Okay, can you call him? Oh, yes, here. Wow. I have garlands left, but I'll give you sweets later. He's officially a teenager. Wow. Any words of wisdom from the new teenager?
Hare Krishna, devotees. Thank you for doing this.
Haribol. Thank you. Excellent way of celebrating birthdays and wedding anniversaries here in the Association of Devotees. And especially nice feasts are prepared and all the devotees are fed sumptuously. So if you feel inspired whenever there's a nice occasion, please come forward and sponsor these festivals. That will be very nice. There's one announcement for Vedic Academy. Tomorrow we will have the Mantra Meditation Japa workshop especially designed for kids, starting from age group and onwards. There are 3 age groups in which the workshop will be conducted. And tomorrow is a holiday for all the kids, for all the schools. So if you have not enrolled your children yet and would like to do so, please talk to Vishakha Leela Mataji after the program, and she'll be very happy to assist you. Thank you. Next, we also have another announcement regarding the Child Protection Program, and Vishakha Leela Mataji will give a brief update on it.
Hare Krishna. Under the guidance of ISKCON Child Protection Office, we are trying to set up a child protection team here in ISV to ensure that our children are safe and sound while they are in ISV premises. So, as a part of this initiative, our first official policy, we request all the parents to actually supervise the children all the time while they are at the temple. So in case both the parents are engaged in any service during any of the programs at ISV, we request them to please give the children to, some other devotee who they trust so that they can supervise, because there have been many cases of child abuse and, other kind of things which has happened in the past and still happening. So we want to ensure that our children are safe. So please, because even today I was seeing so many children just loitering around even during Aarati. From 4 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, the Vedic Academy staff will take care of all the children. But once, the clock struck 6, we actually guide all the children to come and attend the Aarati. And we request the parents to please keep an eye on the children. And even if especially the younger kids, up to 5 years, we want one of the parents to take them to the restroom. Because we see sometimes, they get locked and they don't, they just play there with the water and all those things. So we would like to request all the parents to please keep an extra eye on their children. If they're engaged in any service, please, give your children to somebody else who you trust, and they can take care of them till you're done with your service. An adult.
Thank you very much for your excellent announcement. And I just want to clarify, because you said earlier that abuse and so forth has happened a lot in the past. I just wanted to clarify that it didn't happen at ISV.
Yes, yeah.
You meant in a universal sense that these things are going on everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
In fact, ISV is one of the safest places for children. Because when I was talking to the Child Protection Team office, and they were saying that, I was saying about what kind of programs we have, and when she listened to it, that Mataji was saying, looks like ISV is one of the safest places for children in ISKCON. So I was very happy to hear, but we also have to be very vigilant to make sure that this continues and all our children are happy, and safe growing here in ISV. Thank you.
Haribo.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just to add, Jagrani Mataji was mentioning that sometimes we see the kids are just playing in the parking lot and sometimes they are not supervised. So we also extend a request to all the devotees whenever they see children unsupervised or just by themselves, we request the devotees to please take an extra moment and bring those children back into the temple room and hand them over to the parents. Another thing is, we will shortly have a training session for all the children as well as devotees to train them on child protection and what it takes to protect children while at the temple. Thank you.
We have these beautiful calendars available from the BBT for 2014. So if you haven't gotten one yet, please talk to one of our Sankirtan leaders, Shri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu or Malini Mataji, and they'll happy to give you one tonight. They are all available for only a donation of $10. But they are very nice, beautiful pictures, and it lists all the festivals and Ekadashis as well. Hare Krishna. The cooks for tonight. Are you ready?
Hare Krishna. So today the cooks are Padma Mataji, Bhakta Vatsal Prabhu, Bhavani Mataji, Mahesh Prabhu, Perumal Prabhu, Swaraj Prabhu, and Vilas Prabhu.
Last but not the least, if you'd like to volunteer to help clean the temple after the program, please come and talk to me after you have your prasadam. And like last time, we will form rows starting from this end of the temple to my right, and we'll fill the temple while honoring prasadam. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
If you'll direct your attention to one of the screens on either side of the temple room, we're going to sing the Bengali prayers for honoring prasadam. Sharira Dvijja Jao Jyotindriya Thahika Jibe Pele Vishaya Shagare Dharma Jedi Vayati Loba Muisu Durmati Take Jeta Tatita Samsare Krishna Bodha Doya Moy Gori Bare Jihva Jai Swaprasadanda Dilo Bhai Shayanamrita Bhau Radha Krishna Guna Gao Preme Dakho Shri Chaitanya Nita Paire Ekadina Shanti Pure Prabhu Advaitera Gare Dui Prabhu Bojane Boshilo Shakori Ashwadana Prabhu Bole Bhakta Gana Esha Krishna Ashwadilo Eno Shakashwadane Krishna Prema Aishe Mane Se Preme Toro Ashwadan Jadaburi Parihari Prasada Bojana Kori Hari Hari Bolo Sarvaja Pare Sachirangani Kabhu Madhavendra Puri Prabhu prasadana korena bojan kaite kaite tara ailo prema suruba bole shuno sanyasi ragan mocha ganta pula bari dali dalla chachari sachi mata koliro randan tara shuddha bhakti heri bojana koriro hari shuddha sama eyanam banchan yogi jogi paija boge ajhabitaha hari boli kao sabeba krishnera prasadana Ji jagat kori dhanya Tripurari nache japa Tripurari nache japa Mavrashari Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Swapa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwaso Navajayat Prashade Sarva Dukhanam Hanirasyo Upajayate Prasanna Chetaso Yashu Udiparya Vatistate Bhagavat Shri Mahaprasade Ki Jai Go Premananda. Hey, come back to the Nectarian Slokas. Back. Barhapidam natavaravapu karnayo karnikaram Vibradvasa kanatakapisham vaijayantim chamalam Randram venuradara sudaya punayam gopa vrinder Vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravisha gita kirti. Come on. Next. Tavakatamritam tapta jivanam kavibiriditam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam srimadatatam bhuvi grinantiye burida jana Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Kala Pato Jani Brajita Sadbhakta Valiham Sachakra Madhupa Shreni Viharaspadam Karnanandi kaladvanirvahatu me Jiva marupangane Shri Chaitanya Dayani Deta Valasa Lila Swaduni Elondunita Avishadaya Pronilara Modaya Shamya Shastra Vivadaya Rasadaya Chitarpito Madaya Shashvat Bhakti Vinodaya Samadaya Madhurya Marya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Dvayani Deta Vadaya Booyah. One more time. Shri Chaitanya Dvayani Deta Vadaya Uyaramando Daya Go Premanande Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Nitai Gaur Haribol. Please come take prasadam. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for coming, everybody. Prasadam is served just outside, and we'll be forming rows inside with the help from our ushers. Hare Krishna.